Everybody, I have a lot of news to go over in today's fourth stimulus check update, so you want to be sure to stay until the end of this video. Now, data shows that recurring monthly stimulus payments should be given to the American people. The US Labor Department has just announced that people on unemployment aid could get a one-time check from states after benefits expire on Labor Day. Yes, everybody, we should expect to see a fourth stimulus check in the coming days. Do you believe that President Biden can get the job done and send out the fourth stimulus check in time, before Christmas? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.
Well, that's right. I mean, they do want to raise taxes, but they want to raise regressive taxes on working families. I come from a very rural state. People drive long distances to get to work. Apparently, McConnell wants those folks, working people, to pay more in taxes. I want large corporations, some of them haven't paid a nickel in federal income tax last year.
Multiple sources obtained guidance from the Labor Department on how states could renew federal unemployment aid that is set to expire for millions of Americans in 11 days. Now, if they wanted to, states could issue periodic or one-time relief payments to all workers currently on unemployment. And as the crisis surges and the economy struggles to stay open, Congress and the Biden administration are allowing benefits to expire. The Synergy Foundation projected that 7.5 million workers would lose all of their unemployment benefits in September alone.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well.
For them, we are not going to cut Social Security. We're going to expand benefits.
And that nearly 20 million people across the country could face even more cuts to their income. So, should the unemployment benefits be extended, folks? Tell me what you think in the comments.
50,000 will pay the same percentage of their incomes into the Social Security Trust Fund as people making $40,000 or $50,000. You do that, you extend the life of Social Security to the year 2065, and you expand benefits.
According to folks, many of your own state governors have not sent out their own stimulus payments. Any relief from states is likely to be limited. Half of the states across the United States have already designated the bulk of the federal relief money for purposes like ensuring schools and colleges can educate virtually.
Out every nickel owed to every eligible beneficiary with minimal administrative cost. Social Security is not an investment program. You can invest money on Wall Street, sometimes you do well. You can invest money on Wall Street, sometimes you lose your shirt. Social Security is a social insurance program. It has never failed one American in 79 years. That is a pretty good record.
Millions of California residents are set to get direct payments, partially subsidized by the American Rescue Plan, according to multiple sources. The state enacted a $100 billion recovery package whose slurpus, it said, is fueled by a resurgent economy, a surge in state revenues, and additional federal recovery funds. Under this stimulus package, folks, about 2/3 of Californians qualify for the new stimulus payments of $600.
And that is, if Wall Street does not end its greed, we will end it for them.
Now, Californians have already begun receiving the second round of Golden State stimulus payments. During the second round, a $600 payment will be sent to taxpayers with a Social Security number, making $75,000 or less, who did not receive a first payment, and a $1,000 payment to qualified individual taxpayers, making $75,000 less with one or more dependents. Folks, in regards to our stimulus check, in regards to our fourth stimulus payment, the White House has been sent two letters signed by 26 Democrats pushing for the enactment of so-called automatic stabilizers for expanded unemployment and stimulus checks. They say this will help prevent the kind of partisan gridlock that stalled relief packages during the crisis. Automatic stabilizers would help lawmakers avoid negotiations tied to each relief package, and one possibility is to use unemployment as the stabilizer. And with legislation that includes unemployment as an automatic stabilizer, the number of jobless Americans who fell below a predetermined level would trigger a relief payment. And when the unemployment rate rises above that level, the stimulus relief would be automatically pulled back. A growing number of Democrats, folks, continue to push for more financial relief in the form of a one-time stimulus check or even monthly stimulus payments. What do you think about the Democrats, folks? Are they doing all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? And do you believe that they can get along with Republicans and get the bill sent out? And get the check sent out? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below.
And those in medical research, business, and government who came together to discover, produce, and widely distribute effective vaccines in record time. We should also keep in our thoughts those who have lost their lives from COVID, as well as their loved ones. Strong policy support has fueled a vigorous but uneven recovery, one that is, in many respects, historically anomalous. In a reversal of typical patterns in a downturn, aggregate personal income rose rather than fell, and households massively shifted their spending from services to manufactured goods. Booming demand for goods and the strength and speed of the reopening have led to shortages and bottlenecks, leaving the COVID-constrained supply side unable to keep up. The result has been elevated inflation in durable goods, a sector that has experienced an annual inflation rate well below zero over the past quarter century. Labor market conditions are improving but turbulent, and the pandemic continues to threaten not only health and life, but also economic activity. Many other advanced economies are experiencing similarly unusual conditions. In my comments today, I will focus on the Fed's efforts to promote our maximum employment and price stability goals amid this upheaval, and suggest how lessons from history and a careful focus on incoming data and the evolving risks offer useful guidance for today's unique monetary policy challenges. The pandemic recession, the briefest yet deepest on record, displaced roughly 30 million workers in the space of 2 months. The decline in output in the second quarter of 2020 was twice the full decline during the Great Recession. But the pace of the recovery has exceeded expectations, with output surpassing its previous peak after only 4 quarters, less than half the time required following the Great Recession. As is typically the case, the recovery in employment has lagged that in output. Nonetheless, employment gains have also come faster than expected. The economic downturn has not fallen equally on all Americans, and those least able to shoulder the burden have been hardest hit. In particular, despite progress, joblessness continues to fall disproportionately on lower wage workers in the service sector and on African Americans and Hispanics. The unevenness of the recovery can further be seen through the lens of the sectoral shift of spending into goods, particularly durable goods such as appliances, furniture, and cars, and away from services,